It's crazy how me, as a black man in America, being interested in my history. Now, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not um, coming at anybody. I'm not taking away from anyone's history. I try not to do that to the best of my ability, right? I'm not into the wrong things, but people are so used to black people in America doing the wrong things that when a black person actually is doing the right things, it triggers them. Or at least that's what it seems to me, because I see a lot of people trying to talk down on the black people who are even courageous enough to speak up about how their history has been rewritten. Because the truth of the matter is, the average African American does not know about their history outside of slavery. They don't even know that their religion, the religion that most African Americans practice today in America, is not the original spiritual practice culture of their ancestors. They don't even know that it was given to them by the white man, the slave master of our ancestors. So it is quite absurd to me. And to be fair, I feel like most white individuals and individuals of other ethnicities as well that have a racism in their communities towards black people, African Americans, they choose to have a so-called liberal approach on the whole outlook of African Americans, their history, their place in history, and so on and so forth. They choose to be quiet or neutral about it all. You know, um, most of them, since they overlook us in history, because now all that is promoted on television is a lot of nonsense, right? That involves African Americans. And so, because that's all they're used to seeing and that's all they know, a lot of times they don't even know about, they don't choose to learn and educate themselves on African history and the role that their ancestors may have played in downplaying our history and subjugated our people. Nonetheless, if you are a white person in America today, you should not be saying remarks as this white individual went on camera to speak about me sharing connections between uh, 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 West Africans and the Japanese, as though that is not marvelous in itself. That is not something that deserves attention to even see, because at the end of the day, history is something that we should all be interested in. We should not have no biases towards. We should be open to seeing the facts and the information. So if an individual is displaying to you their case of about cultures that are so far in distance away from each other, yet have so many parallel connections in their language, in their culture, in their architecture, right? In their religion and beliefs, yet what you choose to focus on is not hearing out this individual, but painting them out to be somebody that's just looking for attention. When folks that look like them, right, that are black African Americans in America today, again, doesn't even have the privilege to learn about their history outside of slavery. That is not empowering to us. For us to be empowered, we need to connect, learn our own story of history, because at the end of the day, other cultures aren't responsible for doing that for us. Everybody, whether we believe it or not or like it or not, is usually for themselves at the end of the day and for their own kind. They're going to be more interested about their history and background before they're interested in African American history or African history. At the end of the day, call it what it is. But let us hear out this individual.
Interesting. interesting. Let's take us way back in time so that we can really understand why we like anime. I don't think it's that deep. I think it's just entertaining. I don't think your race has anything to do with it. I don't know. Is this like a you want to feel special? Everything is about race. Everything is about race. So this is a non.
Unfortunately, that is all that this individual took from that 10-minute video, I believe it was, that I made, sharing all kinds of connection from linguistic connections between West African Niger Congo languages and the Japanese language, architecture, culture. I made lots of connections. And from all of those connections, all this individual could take is that I'm trying to flex this superior complex over other races. That is not even the worst of it. I think what irritates me more is when we have fellow African brothers and sisters that want to fight down their own for speaking up for their cause. You know, because this involves all of us. I'm not just sharing this information that I'm coming to about my ancestors from me. I can learn that from I don't have to share that information, but I'm doing it for all of those who look like me, who come from a background like mine, who hasn't had the privilege to learn about their ancestors, to feel empowered through that.
Suck. The history and the pyramids of Dojaya or Giza or wives being African or languages matching up, none of this adds. But because people want to feel so important, they gotta spew word salad like this. But the style.
At the end of the day, all skin folk is not kinfolk.